everybody, welcome to another video. So this is just a follow-up from the video I put out on YouTube the other day concerning the R500. I think 3 or 4 different people have said to me about the low air consumption. People have said on YouTube that this has a really low air consumption, around 5 or just below, under 5 CFM. Which I don't think is correct. I've no way of actually measuring the air consumption, but I don't think that's correct. So what we're going to do is we'll try it against the Bellaria. We'll just let the compressor build up to full power, run one of them, see how long it takes for it to deplete until it switches on, and do the same with the other one. What I'll also do is do the same with a DV1S. Now DV1S is supposed to be, with the S1 cap, is supposed to be 4.1 CFM. So we'll see whether the air consumption that the manufacturer claims, which I don't think it is, I haven't done this before, but I don't think it is. From using it, I think it's about the same as this, but we'll see anyway. Another thing I was going to do is just run through the various bits. Someone pointed out to me, I said about I had the caps. I had 3 different caps. They actually make 4 and make a 1.7 as well. I said I had 3 different caps and they're all the same. Someone pointed out to me, in fact, that the center hole, so this hole here, which the tip protrudes out of, is actually bigger on the 2.0 and the 1.7 and slightly on the 1.5. But what I was thinking was more of the actual holes in the air horns and the holes around the exit hole for the tip. It's all exactly the same. So it is slightly different in the center to make room for the bigger tip, basically. So yeah, I mean, I thought I would point that out because I did say they were exactly the same, but they're not quite, but they are for most purposes. Another thing I'll just show you is this is the 1.3 cap. This is the Bellaria 1.3 cap, and the holes are actually more or less the same. They're just looking bigger because it's nearer the lens, which is a mobile phone. It's on the corner, but the holes are the same size, and you'll see that the center holes here, there's 2 holes left and right of the tip exit hole. They're slightly bigger on the R500. Now, I'll run through quickly just the interchangeability on these as well. The R500, the needle will fit the Bellaria, but you need to change the tip as well, really, because the actual end of the needle is slightly different on the Bellaria. The taper is slightly different, so I wouldn't want to use one with the other because you'd end up buggering up your eye-water needle, which you wouldn't want to do, really. I mean, they're not particularly expensive, but they're probably the same price as the whole gun of the other one. So there's the needles. The Bellaria one is this one here, bouncing up. I should keep them on the right side, actually. So the Bellaria is this side, my right. And you can see that it's slightly different taper at the end. Not a lot, but enough to make a difference to wearing the tip unevenly. So these do interchange. Those are the tips. Both these are 1.3. You see the actual holes look the same. Size of the air holes look the same. And then these are more or less the same. It's just that the actual width of the hexagon, not the diameter across, which is 20 mil, the actual width of the hexagon is slightly bigger on the R500. That's the genuine eye-water one at the top. So they are all interchangeable. I've actually put the R500 tip with the actual R500 needle and the R500 cap on the Bellaria body. This is black chrome because it's the 90th anniversary, but it is just a standard W400 Bellaria body. I have actually interchanged the cap, the tip, and the needle, and it seems to work. It seems to work okay. It does give a slightly different pattern, but they do anyway. But yeah, I mean, it is interchangeable. What isn't interchangeable is you cannot put the Bellaria cap onto the R500. Why you would want to, I don't know, really. The thread is different enough for it not to want to catch. So the thread is slightly finer, I would say, on the R500. As you can see, the standard one obviously fits, and the R500 cap also fits the Bellaria without problems. So you can't fit the Bellaria cap onto the R500, but you probably wouldn't want to. If you're going to do anything, you've probably got a problem with your cap or your tip or whatever on your Bellaria, and you're looking for something that will go on there that's cheaper. So they're willing to change to a certain extent. So what we're going to do, as I say, we're going to link up the compressor, and we're going to run through the amount of time it takes for it to deplete into the refilling cycle, and we'll see how much they use. Okay guys, so I'm going to set this up to run at 2 bar. Now, some people use this at a lower pressure. I found you actually need more pressure to use the R500 than you do in the Bellaria. You can use them at a lower pressure without much problem, particularly for base coat, but the same can be said for the Bellaria. So I'm going to treat them like for like and have them both running at 2 bar. The only difference will be the DV1S, because that's recommended to run at 1.75 bar. And we'll see how long it takes to run the compressor out. So I'm going to run this and let the compressor kick in like it has now, and we'll wait for it to top up, and then we'll start it. I might be slightly slow on the button, but it will only be point something of a second, and we'll just compare them, see what they're like. So just wait for the compressor to fill up. Shouldn't take too long, and as I say, we'll give it a go. But you can see the two of them are very, very similar, and the holes, as I said before, look the same to me, so I expect them to be about the same. So right, let's see how long it takes, shall we? Ready, go. Hopefully you can see the bar pressure. I'm expecting around about 30-35 seconds, but we'll see. Clean the bench while we're at it. Nearly there. Okay, so it's about 26 seconds. So now we'll let the other one, I'll get the other one on. Hopefully I can get it on and connected. I wanted to use the same gauge. Get this up to 2 bar. So we wait for the compressor once again. So remember, 26 seconds, or just over. Reset it, and we'll see how long this takes. Obviously both guns are fully wide open. It's quite interesting to see with the DV1S actually, because that's claimed at more than the SRI, but it's still sub 5, which is what the R500 is supposed to be. So remember, anything around 26 seconds. So that is about 22 seconds. So that is using more than the R500 by about 4 seconds. So we'll hook the DV1S up. Now this is, as I say, this is supposedly a genuine sub 5 CFM gun. Supposed to run at about 1.75 bar, which is about there. So we'll let the compressor run. So it's about 2 seconds difference for the R500 and the Bellaria. And then we'll start this and see what happens. I'm expecting this is going to be around about a minute or so. So what I'll do is I'll just speed the video up at this point, and then we'll find out. So you can see it kicked in about 45 seconds. So there's quite a considerable difference between the gun that is genuinely sub 5 CFM and this thing, which is, it does use slightly less air than the Bellaria, but it is very, very slightly. Anyway, I hope you found the video informative, and I'll go and turn the compressor off. Cheers guys.